Hey, welcome back to J-Max Customs and Fabrication. Boy, did global warming fail us over the weekend. I was in the shop working, but I had the salamander running the whole time trying to keep it like around 15 to 20 degrees in here and was failing miserably. And that thing is really loud. And so I didn't make a lot of content. I got the cross member that my bottom 4 links mount to all done up under here. You can see I got the brackets all nice on the CNC machine. I built this out of 4x2 square tubing, 3/16 wall, just like I did my slider. I stuck it out here 2.5 inches so that I could build a flange to mount it to, so that I could unbolt it and everything. But then with the cab doing what it does, and it tips up like this to where I can work on it. If you're new here and you missed this, go check out video 12 in the series. I'll throw a link to it at the end of the video, and I haven't done it before, but I'll figure out how to put a link in the description for the cab build where I made it tilt like this so we can get to everything underneath it. Because if you remember, we've moved the engine back 9.5 to 10 inches. So it sits up under the cowling, so you can't work on it without getting the cab out of the way. And I did not want to do the Ford thing and have to pull the cab every time I wanted to work on it. After you go back and watch a couple of the other videos, go back and watch 12 and see how we do this with the cab. Or do me a huge favor. I know I've asked before, and I hate to ask, but I have to do it. Hit subscribe if you would. I noticed that there's well over 50% of people that watch the content and don't subscribe. It's a vital part of YouTube that, you get subscribers so that you can get paid to do this kind of stuff. Because I don't know if you guys know, but they don't give 42-inch tall tires and beadlocks and stuff away. And even though we pulled this pickup out of the weeds and everything, we could have got it running and sold it for good money. And instead I've spent a bunch of money on it that I don't know that I will ever recoup to entertain you guys. I'm trying to do my part. Do your part. And hit that subscribe button for me if you would. I would greatly appreciate that. Now, in building my bracket here for my top link, I kind of went all out. I built it. It encompasses the frame, wraps around it, and reinforces it while clearing everything. But I did it in a way that I put my Johnny joint in there and I tacked it all up, got it right where I wanted it. And then Johnny joints, you don't want it to get too hot because it'll all melt out. So I got it right where I wanted it. And then I pulled this out and then I welded the heck out of it and made it all strong and brackets. They warped really bad, and it's probably a little over 1/8 of an inch off from fitting, which you don't want. So I broke out my file on the plasma cam, went back over to the CNC, and I cut another batch of the brackets that I'll have to get welded up, and then I'll cut another one for the other side once I know that this side's perfect. Extra metal, I have the CNC though, so not a lot of downtime. Copy, paste, cut, and you're up and going again. I moved the axle ahead about 2.5 inches, and that put these brackets in front of the oil pan, which gives me a lot more clearance so that I can run the wrecker down low and keep that center of gravity low like I want to do. Coming on Thursday, I'm going to weld that bracket the correct way on video and show you how to keep from getting that warpage inside of the tabs to where your links will fit and you won't have any trouble like I did. I mocked that up the way that I did it and everything to show you guys just how much the heat and everything will move those tabs. I know everybody talks about it, but you know, a lot of people don't. Screw up for you to see so you can correct it, I guess. I'll cover it again in the next episode as far as what I did wrong and everything, and then do it right, so that you got doing it wrong and fixing it in the same video. I did get a new radiator and an overflow tank because this radiator is destroyed. Those of you that are new here, this is a radiator and intercooler out of a 2000 Ford with a 7.3 Power Stroke in it. That we are going to make work on this because it's way narrower and the tires won't get into it and everything when I turn. It is taller, so our frame rails are going to have to stay out here to where the radiator can fit in between. That's fine because we will reinforce that around the outside, because I have to have a hoop to go around the radiator so that I have my radiator support. And those of you who watched the last video know that I got this trailer spindle and hub in the mail, and I'm gonna try and do this. I don't know that I've ever seen it done, but my radiator hoop will come up and around here, right? Top of my radiator, and my intercooler will hook to it. And then where that pipe comes out, I have to do all of this so I know that I have room for this so that I can try it. But I'm going to mount these hubs up here into this tube, and then I'm going to build a cantilever arm off of this hub that'll hang over the axle, and then there'll be an airbag out here. And this is going to be my suspension right here. That airbag will move this eccentric, and I'll just have a rod with heim joints to go down to my axle. There won't be any shocks or springs or anything like that out here in the open to take rocks and sand and all that stuff. And then when I get that that concept put together and everything, I'll explain the benefits and everything to that, and probably the downside, and you know, kind of the walk around as far as what I think I can get by with and what'll work and kind of problems I might run into. But I've always wanted to try it, and I mean, I'm kind of going all out with this one, so why not? Also in the Thursday video, we're going to break down on the whiteboard. I'm going to get a list of everything that I need to check off in the next week so that we can see this thing move under its own power and just give it a little bit of a rip. Nothing too crazy just yet because I don't know where I'm going to be. I have a set of the gas bump stops somewhere. I know where one of them is. Which ain't too bad. Everything's on 2 pallets from my old rock crawler, and for some reason I only have one of the, I always call them a joust shock, but they're just a nitrogen filled bump stop. If I have to, I'll just use the one for mock-up, but when we drive it under its own power, it might just be sitting on the bump stops. So there's not a whole lot of fabrication or anything on this video. It's more of a show you what I've done. Oh, I found the slip yoke eliminator kit for this 241 LDL, and it's on the way. I believe I got it from JB Conversions, and then I had to order a bushing from Northwest Fab. Soon we will have a video on pulling that T-case apart and doing a slip yoke eliminator into it. And then once that's done, then we can build drive lines and stuff. Once we get that slip yoke eliminator kit in there, then I can worry about drive lines and get those either coming, or we'll fabricate something to get us to the games and back home, and then worry about doing a more high-end option just for cootering around out there. I'm not going to worry too much about, you know, having the top of the line drive shaft. Let's just get it there. That's what I'm worried about. Functional, and that it gets there. Oh, and I also have another surprise coming up probably in the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned for that. That's pretty much all you get because global warming kicked our butts this weekend. That, and I've been getting cattle worked and calves weaned and preconditioned and everything so that they can go to the sale, so we can have our one payday of the year as ranchers. It's been a little bit tight this week. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on Thursday for a much more exciting episode. With that said, thanks for watching. Like, share, and definitely hit the subscribe button. Help this channel grow. Help us out with this build and the many more to come. Subscribing is the best way to make sure you don't miss any of it. Catch you on the next one. Good luck to everybody.